Hello, so welcome back to another vlog. If you're a long-term subscriber, you're probably very confused by the title of today's video because you might remember this particular video I did talking about the reasons I never wanted to own another male mouse again, but alas, here we are on our way to get another male mouse. So today I'm actually on the way to Nottingham to a rescue called Borrowed Hearts Rescue, and I've been following them on Facebook for a while, probably a couple of years I think, and I see their posts pop up from time to time, and I saw one of some mice they'd taken in and I just absolutely fell in love with them. I wasn't particularly interested in whether they were male or female, I just saw the post and they reminded me of a mixture of Pearl mixed with Vixen, who unfortunately has passed away since I made the decision to get this mouse. My two favourite mice, it's like a combination of them mixed into one. The whole litter pretty much looks exactly the same and I just fell in love. So I'll sit down and tell you a bit more about him and his story later, but let's go pick him up, shall we? Hi buddy. Hello. So I'm not going to handle him today just because I want him to settle in and not be too scared. Where are you going? So I'm just going to use the toilet roll method. You going in the toilet roll? Good boy. So this is the bag of food he came with, and how cute is this? It's like a little packed lunch. So inside of this we have got this really cute foraging mix. How cute is this? I've always wanted to try oat sprays and wheat sprays with the mice, but they're really hard to come by, so I'm really excited not only to give them to him but also to try the girls with this too. Then there's also various different individually wrapped parcels of different types of food. There's one from Bunny Meadow, one from Getsu, and then a treat mix, and then also a food by Rat Rations for Mice, which if I didn't make my own food mix I would probably use this with the mice, so I'm really excited to see what that looks like and open all these up. So I just thought I'd tip these out to give you guys a closer look, and I can't tell you how good this smells. This is just the treat mix. This has different types of dehydrated berries and fruits. Then this is the Getsu Mouse Mix, which this one looks the nicest to me. This looks the most appetizing. It's got different bits of like dehydrated carrots and then also mealworms. This is the Rat Rations one. This mostly looks like a mixture of seeds. I think there's possibly some mealworms and shrimps in there, I'm not too sure. And then this one is the Bunny Meadow, which I've not heard of before, but it does look quite similar to the Rat Rations one. So yeah, there's a couple options if you're looking for a new mix for your mice. I don't know the compositions of these off the top of my head. I will have to look into it, and I do recommend you do the same, but just from looking at them, they look pretty good. So here he is, isn't he so cute? I want to introduce you guys to Fleet. Now don't ask me where this name comes from, I'm not entirely sure it is even a name. Sometimes I will work through my master list of names I like, and then other times I'll be awake at like 3 AM and the most random word will pop into my head, and no matter how much I try to look for other names, this word just will not leave my head, and that's exactly what happened with his name. But I think my brain process with this is due to the word fleeting. It kind of means like quickly and something that happens quite rapidly, and mice are really quick and really rapid with their movements, so I think that's probably where my brain got that word from. But that's his name is Fleet, and weirdly I think it does suit him. So he is around 4 months old. He is of course neutered, and he is a long-haired satin stone pied male. I'm not 100% sure on the colour, I'm not the best when it comes to mouse varieties, but I think he is possibly stone just because he's this cream and white colour. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the colour he is. But he's super shiny because he is a satin, and that is what drew me to him. Also, I feel pretty confident not doing any quarantine for him just because he did see a vet on Tuesday. Also, I fully trust the person he's come from, that if he did have any signs of illness then she would have let me know. But also I don't have a separate airspace in a separate room to quarantine mice, and that makes keeping him separate pretty pointless in terms of quarantine because they can still pass things in the same airspace. So he's not going to be living by himself for too long, and there will of course be a video introducing them. Also, super important, apparently with mice it's the same as rats, where it takes them 10 days to be infertile after neutering, and it takes 10 days for the sperm to be gone and out of their system. So he's perfectly safe to go in with the girls. I think he was neutered on October the 1st and it's now October the 22nd. So it's been well over 10 days and he's not going to risk getting them pregnant or anything like that. So what I've learned from his personality so far is that he's very, very curious. Of course, mice are naturally quite curious anyway, but he's very curious when it comes to when you hold him, and he loves to explore, especially when he's exploring and climbing on you. He's very curious in that aspect. Also, he sleeps a lot, which I think is probably just part of the settling in process, but compared to my girls who are active all the time, he definitely sleeps a lot more than they do. He also doesn't mind being handled, which is nice. Once you've got him out of the cage and you're holding him and he's exploring, he's perfectly happy, he doesn't really mind, and that is all down to Laura at the rescue, putting the time in and handling him and working on Timmy with him. Of course, we'll continue to work on that, but I'm really happy. He seems pretty curious and he doesn't mind at all. Also, yesterday when I was holding him for the first time, he sat pretty still on my arm and he started to boggle, which was so cute. Yes, mice do also boggle as well as rats. I've not seen many of my mice do it, so to see him boggle within the first day and the first time me handling him was so cute. So in terms of his story, he was part of an accidental litter which was surrendered to Buried Hearts Rescue. All of his brothers and sisters are also looking for homes, and some of his sisters have also had their own litters, and all of them look really similar. I think most of them are satins like he is, so they're all a big family of shiny mice, and most of them are looking for homes. So if you're local to the area and you're looking for some new mice, definitely go to their website or their Facebook page and have a look at his brothers, sisters, possibly children, nieces, nephews, because they'll all be needing homes soon and they all deserve to go to really good homes too. So I'll leave their Facebook and their website linked in the description, just in case you're looking for some new mice and you're local to Nottingham. If not, you could also leave a donation, because that would really help them caring for their animals. They don't just have mice, sometimes they also have rats, and they also have lots of hamsters, rabbits, chinchillas. They've got so many chinchillas at the moment, so even if you're not looking to adopt a mouse, there's a lot of other animals which also need homes too. So I've actually known that I've been getting him since about August, and he's been my little secret for a couple of months, just because I obviously had to wait for him to be big enough to be neutered. Then I also had to obviously make sure that his neuter went okay and he made it through the surgery, because neutering male mice is quite risky because they're so small, but in my opinion I think it is the best thing for them if it's possible, just so they can live socially as they're meant to. And then of course I had to wait for his recovery and then I could bring him home. So I know I made that video about 2 years ago saying that I would never ever own another male mouse again. Most of that still stands true. I still stand by most of the things I said in that video, but I think owning an intact male mouse is a lot different to owning a neutered male mouse, and I'm really excited to see the differences and also share them with you guys too. So there's many reasons why I never wanted to have another intact male mouse again. The main one was the smell. I just couldn't really cope with it very well. I've had about 8 females living together at one point, and the smell of all of them combined was nowhere near as bad as having one intact male, and I think that's mostly just down to their scent marking. It's an entirely different smell to like just the natural smell of their waste building up. The smell of a male mouse is just something else, and I never really wanted to have to deal with that again. And with him being neutered, he's not going to be scent marking as much, or if at all, so that has definitely helped. And I've not really noticed a smell with him really at all. Even if you put your face near the cage, you really have to put it quite close to the bedding, which I've not really even noticed much of a smell when it comes to that. And in the couple of days I've had him, it's really not been that bad. Although I don't think I'd ever really want to adopt a male mouse with the plans of neutering them myself. Not myself with a vet, but you know what I mean. Adopting them with the plans to neuter them, because you'd have to deal with the odour in the meantime whilst you're waiting for their appointment or waiting for them to be big enough to be neutered. I don't think I'd really want to deal with that even for a couple of weeks. And also you get quite close to them, you bond with them during that process, and then there is always that really high risk of them passing away during the surgery, which is sad after you've formed a bond with them. Whereas you can just go to a rescue and adopt a male mouse that's already been neutered, and a lot of rescues seem to be doing this, neutering their male mice and then rehoming them either with females or with a preface that you're going to introduce them to females you've already got. So yeah, hopefully going forward I will continue to carry on owning male mice and putting them in with my females. that was another reason I didn't really want to own a male mouse again, just because they do require so much attention and it is really hard to meet their social needs if they're not neutered. It is a really tricky situation that there's not really the best answer to it. I think the best situation is to neuter them if possible and house them with females or with African soft-furred rats if you can, but I didn't really want to have a lone male mouse again, and I do think if you can neuter them, it is really important to try to do that to allow them to live socially as they're meant to, obviously without producing lots and lots of baby mice. So the next few videos should be really interesting. Obviously I'm going to be introducing him to the girls, which I'm probably going to do after I finish filming this, and of course I will be filming the whole process and obviously talking a bit more about introducing neutered male mice to females. And also we do have the cage tour coming very soon. So many of you have been asking me about that. I promise it will be up as soon as it's finished. I've had a few issues with sourcing a couple of things and it's not entirely done how I'd like it, so once it's done I promise you that video will also be up. But for now I do have a couple more videos in the process and you'll be seeing a lot more of this guy too. So I hope you guys enjoyed meeting Fleet and I hope you're excited to see more of him in the future. Don't forget to go and check out Buried Hearts Rescue in the description, and thank you so much Laura for letting me have him and for giving me so many updates whilst I was waiting for him. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!